It's just being honest. You know what I mean? I'm just brutally honest. I can't lie. If someone ever get asked about someone, I'm gonna be honest. I seen him say in an interview the other week that I don't watch anybody not in the top 5. I won't watch Chandler and Pimblett. Well, what are you tweeting me for then?
Dana White has officially cut ties with one of his own fighters amid an explosive betting scandal that sent ripples throughout the entire sport. Suspicious wagers, FBI involvement, and a fight outcome that raised more questions than answers. It's the kind of chaos that could threaten the very integrity of MMA betting as we know it. And while fans are still processing that bombshell, Paddy Pimblett is back in the headlines with a fiery message for his longtime rival, Ilia Topuria. With tensions boiling between these two and Dana White cracking down harder than ever on fighter misconduct, it's shaping up to be one of the most dramatic weeks in UFC history. Hit that subscribe button and join the MMA desk for daily fight news, controversy breakdowns, and let's dive right in the video. Paddy Pimblett didn't mince words when he was asked how a fight with Ilia Topuria would go. He said he would smash his face in, and he sounded completely sure of himself.
English, yeah?
Hey,
Speak English.
you want to talk to me like the man to man? You said something about me. I went to your country. I slapped your face. I get at the wasting win. I walk like a king in your
Are
street.
you talking English?
Paddy explained that people act like Ilia is some unbeatable star, but he thinks that hype is out of control. In his view, a fight isn't just about one strength, it's about who can win in every area. Paddy believes he can handle Topuria on the feet, in the clinch, and on the ground. That confidence matters because fights often turn on small moments, and a fearless attitude can push a fighter to take smart chances. Fans love this kind of energy because it sets the table for a big showdown. You can almost imagine the face-off. Paddy smiling, Ilia staring back, both trying to get in the other's head. Paddy's message is simple. He wants the fight, and he thinks he's better everywhere. Whether you agree or not, his talk creates tension and excitement. It also puts pressure on Ilia to answer. Will Topuria brush it off, or fire back and push for the matchup?
So if he wants to assure his title shot, he has to fight with Justin Gaethje, because if he fights with Arman, I think that Arman's going to beat him. So the easiest path he has right now to get the title shot is Justin.
Okay, thank you.
Stylistically.
With Paddy's growing fame and Ilia's strong skills, this could turn into one of those rivalries that people talk about for years, especially if the trash talk keeps building and both keep winning. Justin Gaethje's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, made a bold claim that shook fans. He said if Paddy Pimblett jumps the line and gets a title shot before Gaethje, then Gaethje would retire and never fight in the UFC again. That is a huge statement because Gaethje is known as one of the most exciting fighters in the world. He is the kind of athlete who delivers big moments every time he steps into the cage. For his manager to say retirement is on the table shows how serious they are about respecting the rankings and the hard work it takes to earn a title fight. The UFC often books fights that mix performance, timing, and popularity. This can upset fighters who believe they've done more to deserve the chance. Ali's message was intended to protect Gaethje's place and send a warning to the UFC and fans. Merit should matter. It also adds drama to the lightweight picture.
Justin Gaethje, he's talking about potentially retiring and letting go of the sport.
He will walk away. He saved the company. Jamal Hill Pereira was the main event. The real main event is Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje. And I think he's at this point be like, I fought Fazil for you guys to give you a good co-main event. And he put on a great fight and he still got a bonus.
If Paddy gets fast-tracked, would Gaethje really walk away? Or is this hard talk to keep the title path fair? Either way, it puts a spotlight on the decision-makers and makes the next few matchmaking choices feel even more important for the division and for Gaethje's future. Ali Abdelaziz also talked about Magomed Ankalaev's injury before his fight and revealed how serious it was. He said Magomed had messed up ribs and could barely train for 40 days leading up to the bout. According to him, Ankalaev couldn't wrestle or grapple at all during that time. Instead, he did light conditioning like running, jumping rope, and hitting mitts. This changes how people might judge his performance. If a fighter enters the cage without being able to train properly, that can affect cardio, timing, and confidence. Ribs are especially tough because they impact breathing and every twist or turn. Ali said he even begged Magomed not to fight, but Ankalaev wanted to keep the main event alive.
Certain fighters, we have the long road for the title like Khabib, like Kamaru Usman, like Islam Makhachev. But when they get there, they become dominant. The UFC have different views about what they want to do. Alex Pereira, they thought they wanted him for Utah. They wanted Magomed Ankalaev will fight in Abu Dhabi. Listen, he deserves a title shot.
That shows commitment, but it also raises questions. Should a fighter push through that kind of pain? Should the promotion let him? Ali suggested that the UFC knew about the injury and appreciated him for keeping the show going. He believes Ankalaev is only one fight away from a title shot and needs to remind the world why he's the best. Fans now see that there was more going on than anyone knew, and they may judge Magomed's performance with more compassion and respect for the risk he took. The heavyweight bout with Ante Delija and Waldo Cortes-Acosta turned into a wild controversy that had everyone talking. At one point, it looked like Delija had won after landing a barrage of punches. The referee stepped in, which usually signals a stoppage, but then Cortes-Acosta said he was poked in the eye, and the replay seemed to show contact near the eye.
You could not script that better if you tried. Dude, Tom looks so bad after that, I can't lie. But I don't know, it's different eye pokes in it. Wow, that is so bad. I don't know why he's holding it that bad afterwards.
The fight was restarted, and not long after, Cortes-Acosta landed a huge right hand that stopped Delija. Delija later posted that the referee did not clearly call a timeout for the eye poke before stopping the action. He argued that once the ref waved it off, it should have been a win that couldn't be changed. He also said that using replay the way they did went against the rules and that the fight continued in an unfair way. This is a tough situation. Eye pokes can be accidental, but they can change everything. Fighters' safety matters, but so does being fair and following the rulebook. When the action gets messy, people wonder who should have the final say, the ref, the commission, or replay officials. Delija didn't run from the loss, but he called for honesty and consistency. This kind of moment reminds the sport that clear rules and communication are vital.
An absolutely wild turn of events in the co-main event of UFC Vegas 110. Waldo Cortes-Acosta takes a brutal eye poke from Ante Delija early in round 1. His vision clearly impaired, yet he chose to continue. Moments later, despite the controversy and pain, Cortes-Acosta lands a perfect counter right hand. Without them,
fighters and fans feel confused, and that's bad for trust. Michael Bisping and Daniel Cormier, two respected champions turned analysts, reacted to the Delija Cortes-Acosta situation with shock. Bisping said he's never seen anything like it in all his years in MMA. That means a lot, because he has seen almost everything a cage can produce. Cormier agreed it was a first, and they both knew fans would try to compare it to Tom Aspinall's earlier fight that ended due to eye pokes. But they said the two cases were not the same. In this heavyweight bout, the confusion came from the sequence of decisions: a near stoppage, an eye poke claim, replay use, and then a restart that led to a knockout. Moments like these are hard for viewers. It feels unfair to someone no matter what. If you end it, one side is angry. If you restart it, the other side feels robbed. Bisping and Cormier's voices matter because they explain the sport to millions of fans. When they say something is unprecedented, people pay attention. Their take also encourages the commission to review what happened and consider clearer processes for future fights. Analysts don't make rules, but their opinions can push the sport to improve, especially when everyone agrees that what happened was confusing and needs a better plan next time. Prochazka, the former light heavyweight champion, talked again about possibly moving down to middleweight if he doesn't get another shot at 205 soon. Gaethje is known for his wild style, spinning strikes, and never give up mindset. When he says cutting to 185 would be really something, fans listen. Cutting weight is not easy. It requires strict diet changes, careful timing, and serious discipline.
One thing you said after that fight, you said you have to evolve. And one thing that I saw in this last fight with Jamal Hill was evolution. The head movement and the counters were brilliant. There's one that he threw a punch, you slid slightly out of the way, landed a straight left, and then the right hook that dropped him. But it was so dynamic, it was so fast.
Some fighters feel faster and sharper at a lower weight, while others lose power or stamina. GG believes he knows his body well enough to make the drop safely. He still wants to bring the 205-pound belt back to the Czech Republic, which shows how important that title is to him and his fans. But if that lane is blocked by timing or matchmaking, he could test himself in a whole new division. That possibility opens up some amazing matchups. Imagine GZ's creativity against the top middleweights. It also adds pressure on the light heavyweight picture. If he moves down, there's an opening at the top of 205. If he stays and gets the title shot, we might see one more wild, memorable GC fight at his natural class. Either way, his name keeps things exciting across two divisions. Alexandre Pantoja, the flyweight champion, sent a strong message before his fight with Joshua Van. He basically said the fight would be easy and even predicted a submission, maybe a choke. That kind of confidence can feel bold, but Pantoja has backed it up again and again. He's defended his belt multiple times and is known for dangerous grappling and relentless pace. Joshua Van is on a nice winning streak, including a big win over a respected contender, but there's a difference between moving up the rankings and beating the champion. The champion has been in longer fights, tougher spots, and high-pressure moments. When Pantoja talks about easy money, he's not just bragging. He's telling the world he knows his own strengths and sees openings in Van's game. A submission prediction also tells Van exactly what to prepare for, which is part mind game and part challenge. Will Van try to keep it standing and use movement? Will he avoid scrambles that lead to Pantoja's back takes? Fans can picture the fight. Pantoja marching forward, Van circling and countering, both looking for that one position that changes everything. If Pantoja's read is right, we may see another clinical finish from a champion who loves to prove a point. Steve Garcia had a huge night, stopping David Onama in the first round and showing why people say he's one of the most dangerous featherweights around. After the win, he surprised some fans by calling out Josh Emmett. Garcia first mentioned wanting the BMF King Max Holloway, which shows his ambition, but then he explained why Emmett makes sense, name value and rankings. Emmett has been in big fights and carries real power. Garcia believes a fight with Emmett would draw more eyes and help him climb faster. He also said he'd fight Youssef Zalal if needed, showing he's not ducking anyone, but he's thinking like a professional, who gives the best mix of challenge, exposure, and progress. Garcia's 7 straight wins, with most by finish, prove he's not just talking, he's delivering. If he gets Emmett, fans would expect heavy shots, quick exchanges, and maybe a dramatic finish. If he gets Zalal, it's a style test with a different kind of pressure. Either way, Garcia's call-outs show focus. He wants big names, main events, and the kind of fights people remember. That's how a contender becomes a star, by winning and by choosing smart, exciting targets that make the audience care. The betting scandal that erupted around the fight between Isaac Dolgaren and Yair Delva lit up social media and worried many fans. Reports said huge bets came in on Delva right before the fight. The odds moved fast, flipping what people expected. Delva then won by first-round submission. On its own, a quick finish happens in MMA all the time. But when odds swing and big money moves in the same direction just before a fight, people start asking hard questions. Was there inside info? Was someone hurt and it leaked? Or was it just sharp bettors reading a late clue? Some voices online claim the fight looked fixed, which is a serious accusation. Others said we need evidence before saying anything that strong. In the middle of it all, fans got nervous. If people feel the game is not fair, they stop trusting results and stop betting, and that can hurt the sport's popularity. The right answer is always the same. Investigate, gather facts, and be open about what is found. If there's nothing wrong, show that clearly. If there is a problem, fix it fast and punish the people involved. The health of the sport depends on fair fights and clean outcomes. The fallout was immediate and harsh. After the strange betting movement and the quick submission loss, Isaac Dolgaren was released from the UFC. Reports said the official reason was the loss itself, but many believe the timing showed deeper concerns. There were claims online that officials were warned about unusual betting action before the fight, which made the decision to let it go forward look questionable to some fans. Whether those claims are fully true or not, the message from the UFC was loud. If anything smells like gambling trouble, they will act fast. Cutting a fighter who had just signed a new deal is not normal, and it shows how seriously the promotion is taking this issue. For fighters, this is a warning. Don't get anywhere near gambling problems, even by accident. For fans, it is a promise that the company wants to protect the sport's integrity. It is a tough moment for Dolgaren, who now has to deal with the loss and the release, but for the sport as a whole, it could be a line in the sand. The only way to rebuild trust after a scare like this is clear rules, quick actions, and honest communication, so everyone knows the fight game is still clean and real. The MMA world just had one of its most dramatic weeks in a long time. Between the betting scandal that led Dana White to fire a fighter, shocking fans everywhere, and the heated trash talk between Paddy Pimblett and Ilia Topuria, emotions are running high across the sport. Every story from Ankalaev's painful injury to Prochazka teasing a new weight class shows how unpredictable MMA can be. It's not just about punches and submissions, it's about pride, risk, and reputation. The betting controversy reminds everyone how fragile trust is in a sport built on fairness and competition. At the same time, stars like Paddy, Pantoja, and Garcia keep the fight world alive with their bold challenges and fearless confidence. As the UFC tightens its rules and the fighters keep pushing limits, one thing's for sure, MMA never stops surprising us. The next big twist could happen at any moment, and every fan wants to be the first to know. Don't miss the next breaking update or fight drama. Hit subscribe and stay tuned to MMA Desk for the latest news, analysis, and fight breakdown straight from the octagon.